Yo, what is up, y'all? My name is Robert Donaldson, and welcome back to another edition of Rob's Best Bets. And in this video, we are once again talking about college hoops. And on Saturday, kind of a really, a frustrating, unfortunate day. We went 6-6-1 against the spread. We basically broke even on our money. But, you know, we had some real games that were some heartbreakers, whether it was Missouri or Monmouth not covering by a half point, or Iowa collapsing down the stretch, or Northern Kentucky collapsing down the stretch after being up double digits in the second half. There were a lot of frustrating moments, but we did hit Clemson. That was our biggest bet of the night. We also hit them on the outright money line, and some of you guys were actually telling me that you ended up in the green because you got Indiana at the plus 3.5 mark, and that was our good beat of the day. It was a half-court heave. For me, unfortunately, that one in the final column, that was a push for me, but, you know, it is what it is. It's going to happen eventually, and, it's better than losing money, I suppose, at the end of the day. But with all that being said, y'all, we have a small but surprisingly actually kind of decent college basketball slate, given that it is Super Bowl Sunday, and I'm excited to get into it. But first, I do want to shout out today's sponsor, Underdog Fantasy, and if you haven't already gone over there and signed up using promo code ROBDFB, make sure you go and do so. You'll get a sweet deposit match bonus, and we're going to have a really fun entry tomorrow that kind of blends the Super Bowl with college basketball, and I say we go ahead and hit it. It's going to be a 6-to-1 pair, and if you do want to take part in that, make sure you go over to my Twitter/X page at RobDFB to stay kind of in tune with what we go or which direction we go with our underdog entry for tomorrow. But with all that being said, y'all, I'm ready to hop into these picks. All right, first up, we are heading out to Philadelphia, and no, this is not the site of the Super Bowl, although their city's NFL team is going to be partaking in the Super Bowl, but we're actually going to be taking a look at a college basketball matchup here between Xavier and Villanova, and this really hasn't been the season that either program has really expected. But Xavier and Sean Miller, they still feel like they have the ability to get on the bubble and put themselves there, or have the talent just to win the conference tournament and steal the bid. And I'm kind of bought into that idea. I do think that Villanova is on the outside of that idea where, yes, do they have the capability of doing the exact same thing? Kind of, but I think they're a much less talented team and a much worse coach team as well. And they're laying 3 points here. I think it's a short number for a reason at home. And for that reason, I say we go ahead and take the 3 points with Xavier for 3 units for our first bet here on Sunday. For pick number 2, we are heading out to Lincoln, Nebraska, where we have Ohio State taking on the Cornhuskers. And in this matchup, both teams have been playing some really great ball, and both teams have successfully worked their way not only onto the bubble, but potentially even past the bubble with just their recent wins. And that's a really great credit to both programs who are kind of in that rebuilding stage, or kind of a building up stage, to hopefully be better than what they are this year. And when you're looking at Ohio State, they are coming off of that massive buzzer beater comeback win. And typically I like to bet against you when you are in that spot, and it does pay pretty good dividends over time. But Nebraska is also coming off of a crazy West Coast road trip where they're actually kind of in a travel spot going back to their own home stadium. And I do feel like this could potentially be kind of a sleepy spot for them just because of the travel, and just because Ohio State isn't necessarily one of the cream of the crop Big Ten teams this season. And I'm not even going to lie, I think Ohio State is actually the better team in this matchup too. So let's go ahead and take the 2.5 points with the Buckeyes for 2 units for our second bet here on Sunday. All right, for our final bet here on Sunday, we are heading out to the AAC, where we have Wichita State taking on South Florida. And South Florida, this is a very sad story because Amir Abdur-Rahim had this program in a really great spot before he just kind of surprisingly passed away during surgery this offseason. It's one of those kind of, heartbreaking stories. I loved him at Kennesaw State. He obviously got them to the dance. And then last year, in year one at South Florida, it looked like man, this could be a mainstay program at the mid-major level for some time, as long as he's there. But he's gone, and when you're looking at this matchup and how they performed so far this season, it has kind of a little bit been a disappointment when you put it from that standpoint, because they haven't really had a great year. They're not going to make the dance, and they're also going to be struggling to even find that 20-win mark this season as well. And Paul Mills and Wichita State on the other side, I kind of want to buy into the back end of their season here, because Paul Mills is a good coach in my opinion, and they've underachieved this so far this season as well, but I like their upside, especially once it gets to conference tournament time, because don't be surprised if they pick off a couple teams here and there during that tournament. And they're getting 1.5 points here on the road. I think it's a short line for a reason. So let's go ahead and take the Shockers, getting the 1.5 points for 3 units for our final bet here on Sunday. All that being said, I really want to thank you guys for checking out today's video. And if you do want to show some love, make sure you drop a like in the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and make sure you comment down below. I love engaging with you guys down there in the comments. But with all that being said, y'all, I will see you in a future video. Take it easy.